Rigathi Gachagua, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, ordered the chiefs to pull down all the banners or the statues that have been erected in projects that have stalled all the projects that William Ruto launched as a deputy president and the projects that he's now launching as a president. So if there is any project that William Ruto launched and that project has stalled, the chiefs have been given direction or other instructions to make sure that all banners are pulled down. However, the corn scheme has still to be exposed. And I want us to look at what's happening here, because I think there is every reason to give airtime to Morara and pay attention to the Lord's work. What I want to show you in this video is going to blow your mind. I believe instead of saying they are just defaming, mudslinging, we should just counter with facts. So before I show you these videos, I want to first ask you to subscribe to our channel, and humbly, we are finishing the Kilifi mission. By tomorrow, by Thursday, we are supposed now to finish the mission by now doing food donation and some mattresses that we are supposed to give to these 15 elderly women here. Now, for those who are watching for the first time, I have been in Kilifi since Saturday. And apart from the political analysis, we are running a mission here. And our mission is to support these 15 elderly women. Now, their houses are ravaged. At some point, we found some that did not even have doors. So we had to make doors and also make the roofing and make the repair. And that is what we were doing for Monday and Tuesday. So on Wednesday, now I'm supposed just to do the last bit of it, so that Thursday we can do the food donation. The deficit we have is that, as I speak now, is 56,000. I believe and I trust that we can do. Let's support this. Number one, this is the first one in the coast. Oh, yes. I know people have been saying, oh, Kevin, you've been doing Nyanza and Western and you've been doing Nyanza and Central and Nairobi. Now, this is the first one in the coast. Number two, it is the program you're developing of going for the really needy, 85 and above. Those are the team we are targeting. And really, I believe that we can do more than just this. The society needs us. So kindly subscribe. And the other big reason why I also want to support this is already a program. One of us, a subscriber in this channel, was supporting these women. So he fell ill. An ex-military officer allowed him to remain still synonymous. So he fell ill and then could not continue supporting them. So for the last 6 months alikuwa anawapatia chakula but hangeendelea. Sasa akaniambia, jamani, wacha tuwasaidie. Ndio maana niko hapa na nasema asante sana. Asante sana. Na wacha niseme hivi, watu kutoka Coast ninawashukuru sana kwa sababu nimeona wamejitokeza 150, 30, 10 sawa. Yani mimi nashukuru sana watu kutoka sehemu hii na Kenya nzima, kutoka dunia nzima, Amerika, Ujerumani, Canada, popote ulipo. Nasema asante sana kwa kuweza kusaidia, kwa sababu najua wale ambapo imebaki kwa siku moja tukijaribu tukikamua mahali tutafikia, tutaweza kuwasaidia siku ya Alhamisi. Ileta mie pia nitoke Mombasani jamani, Kilifi nishazekea huku na mabiriani na mapilao huko nafu pia ikabini kaza maji ya chumvi. Kiswahili, I'm telling you. Now, let's start with this photo. Let's start with this one. This one, that is my governor, James Aggrey Orengo, and William Ruto on October last year, 2023. Remember the trip that Ruto made to Nyanza, the much hyped trip of now going to Nyanza, and that was after the bipartisan talks had now happened. After the protest, they ushered the bipartisan talks, and there was some calm, relative calm there. Then Ruto went to Nyanza. They are launching a road in Uhai. is it Ohio or Uhawi? I'm told that place. It is in that side of Bondo, Uyoma. So in this event, the governor was there. Even Eliud Owalo was there. So you can see the colorful event, the governor, people fueling all their guzzlers to go there. This day, the tractors were there. But now, see later, 8 months later, this is what a gentleman is telling us about the state of that road. Just look for yourself.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Morara Index 1 student hapa hivi. Hapa niko mali inaitwa Liunda Beach. Liunda Beach is in Bondo sub-county, Siaya County. Hapa ndo nyumbani kwa CS Owalo. Hapa ndo nyumbani home area ya Raila Amolo Odinga. Hapa ndo county ya Siaya Governor James Agre Orengo. Actually, the reason why we are here ni kuangalia tu ile barabara ambayo His Excellency William Samoei Ruto aliweza kufungua on 9th October 2023. His Excellency William Samoei Ruto was here to confirm kwamba was here. This is the hii ndo yetwaje chapa ya hii ndo chapa ya president everywhere. Kwenye His Excellency amefika lazima ataweka chapa kwamba alikuwa. So His Excellency alikuwa hapa. Hii place Liunda Beach, hakuna mtu anasikia Kiswahili, hakuna mtu anasikia kizungu kidogo. I don't mean to underrate them, but that is the truth. We've tried to communicate to them, but tunahangaika. Tunasaidia ni kwamba tunajua lugha ya nyumbani. So president alikuwa hapa kufungua barabara ya kutoka Bondo, Uyawi, Kabanga, Liunda Beach. Hiyo barabara ni 21 km. It was to be upgraded into bitumen standard 9th October 2023. It was on a Monday. President together with Governor James Agre Orengo with CS Owalo, they were here to launch hii barabara. Kindly please, maybe mimi ndo sijui inamaanisha nini to upgrade barabara into bitumen standard. This is how the road looks like. Kutoka hapa mpaka Bondo hakuna chochote, it's just like this. Watu hapa wanasema kwamba tangu president akuja hapa kulikuwa na matinga fulani zilisimama hapa, ikakaa ni kama kazi na inataka kuanza. But since then nothing has ever, actually it's almost a year, si ndio? Karibu mwaka inaisha bwana. Barabara inakaa hivi. 21 km from here to Bondo. 21 km. Morara student here, Morara Kebaso kindly and to test and see how the road look like. And Kenyan, you can help us kuangalia kama kweli hii barabara is already upgraded into bitumen. Because as far as I know, bitumen standard inamaanisha kwamba barabara kuwekwa lami. Unaona? Because kutoka hapa mpaka Bondo is 21 km. Nataka nisukume mnyama, niangalie venye barabara iko, nione kama kweli ilishatengenezwa. Sawa sawa? So
this is one of the projects that launched, money put there, and a number of things explained, and there was all manner of hope that this project was coming to a fruition. It never happened, nothing is going on, and when you pay attention and realize that gentleman is saying that ban has been pulled down. Now, when the president, Rais na gavana wangu James Orengo, wakati walikuwa wanazindua huu mradi, kila kitu ilikuwepo. Wale wamama wakaitwa, kila mtu akaja pale. Kila mtu anashukuru kwamba rais ameleta maendeleo. Basi maendeleo yenyewe yanakuwa ni maendeleo gushi. Hamna chochote kinaendelea. Barabara ni vile vilivyo. Zile tingatinga zililetwa. Muda tu punde tu rais alitoka, hata zile tingatinga zilimfuata. Sasa ile sehemu hamna chochote ambacho kinaendelea. Ndio maana yule kijana anasema, jamani, hata kama rais anarudi, lakini hii ambayo alikuwa ametuahidi mpaka akaja hapa kazindua, basi endelee. Yule mwenye alipewa kandarasi, mwenye alipewa zabuni ya kutengeneza barabara, hata upo. Na kwa nini wanazitoa? Kwa sababu hawataki watu wajue kwamba ilizinduliwa na ilifaa itengenezwe muda gani, hela ilitoka au vipi. Sielewi kama hiyo barabara tena haitafanywa ama imeondolewa, baada ya muda fulani tena rais atarudi kuja kuzindua tena. Aina wasiwasi bana. Na wasiwasi, tuna nchi ambao tuna matatizo mengi sana. Now, look at Makueni. Oh, this was another interesting one.
Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, during a meeting at the State House, told the chiefs to remove this. As you can see, this is very fresh. Hii imetolewa hii. The residents in this area have told me hii jina ilitolewa juzi. But the evidence is still available. On December 3rd of 2016, on a Tuesday like today, the two brothers who have messed up our country, President Uhuru, together with his deputy Ruto, they came here to launch this road. This road is called the Katua Ke Nunguni Road Project. Now this road was allocated 362 million Kenyan shillings. Already the contractor has been paid 255 million. Wacha nirudie kwa Kiswahili. Hii barabara ilikuwa imetengewa milioni 362, 362 million. Na tayari mkandarasi, the contractor, amelipwa 255 million kujenga hii barabara. I want to show you the condition of the road so that you make a judgment for yourself whether this road is worth 255 million. My friend, wacha nikwambie watu wa Makueni wanalia. The people of Makueni County are crying. The people of Makueni County are crying. This is Kaiti constituency in Makueni County. Hii barabara ilialoketiwa 362 million. Tayari contractor alishalipwa 255 million. If you see the condition of this road, you will know that there is a fundamental problem in Kenya. Ni wizi bila kazi. I want to ask the government something. Tafadhali. Ya JSS teachers mushagula. They have been paid 17,000. They are suffering. They can't afford basic life. Public Service Commission interns, 25,000 of them. You've refused to confirm them. Police constables, umesema mliwaongezea 40%. Wakati niliwachallenge serikali ndio walisema it was supposed to be in two phases. Amuko mmewaongeza hiyo 40%. And now look at what you are doing to our road. And yet money is stolen from this government daily with the permission of the president. Rais William Ruto permits corruption. He is the biggest beneficiary of corruption in this country. Na angalia vile barabara zinakaa. This is very regrettable. You people should ask yourself where you sleep tonight, whether this is the road that people should be using. Allocated 362 million, already a contractor has been paid 255 million, whether this should be the road.
Look at this video from Makueni. Another project, it was launched and the man pulled it down. Now I think Morara is saying there that that place the chief was told to remove. Of course, that aspect of removing is being done because the news spree of exposing, and now it is not just Morara doing it. Any other person somewhere, when you're somewhere, you look at a project, say, oh, this was launched. Has it been done? People are now taking photos, real photos, and now sharing in social media about projects that were launched by the president and never achieved. Let's go to Kisii. Kisii is another scam about land, and I'm taking keen interest on Kisii because there is something Morara is saying in Kisii, and I had mentioned when I did that exclusive interview with some of the contractors about this project, there is something one contractor told me, and I think Morara has mentioned it in this video.
Welcome again to this episode of the Vampire Diaries. I am in Kitutu Masaba constituency, Nyamira County, and this is Bosiango village. Now, if these tea bushes could talk, they will tell you a story about this land and that swamp behind me. In 2018, the government came up with a project to build a dam here. This dam was supposed to provide millions of liters to the people around this region, to Kisii town, to Keroka town, to Nyamira town, and to many other places. This was supposed to be one of the biggest dam projects in Kenya and in the Kisii region. Initially, it was supposed to cost 6.6 billion Kenya shillings. But now, Lake Victoria South Development and Waterworks Agency varied the cost of this project from 6.6 billion to 10.8 billion Kenya shillings. What happened when they varied the cost of the project? The person who was financing the project refused to finance it. The financier withdrew. As you are looking at me, Mkenya mwenzangu, tayari hapa mahali nimesimama, the government of Kenya has already wasted 86 million Kenya shillings taxpayers money, pesa yangu na yako imetumika hapa 86 million. Do you know to do what? A feasibility study. To do a feasibility study of whether this area is fit for a dam. 86 million for a study. Already spent taxpayers money. Now, do you remember when William Ruto was the deputy president, the first time of the Jubilee government, wakati alikuanga anasema yeye ndiye anaongoza serikali, huyu mwingine ni mlevi. Now, fast forward here, through the hand, the unseen hand of Dr. William Samoei Ruto, these people were told to leave this land and be given only 200,000 shillings as compensation. Instead of their cash crops being valued, the trees being valued, their homes being valued, walipwe what was fair for their homes and their cash crops. They were being told to be given peanuts waende, because they wanted to kula pesa ya resettlement ya hao watu. There was already a budget ya resettlement ya hao watu, but walikuwa tayari washaichorea vile wataigula. Sasa ona, 86 million, nothing but bare land, just a dead project, wasted public funds, zero, a multiplication of zero raised to power infinity. Ndio maana nawaambia hii serikali ni wizi bila kazi. Na ijaanza leo, ilianza kitambo. In fact, mistake ya hii Kenya ilianza 2013. The moment Uhuru and Ruto became president and deputy president respectively, that's when we started getting problems here. Wizi bila kazi. Welcome again to another episode of the Vampire Diaries. I am at Bomachoge Chache. This is Kisii County, and this is Nyamonyo KMTC. Now, on the 19th of October 2019, His Excellency President William Ruto came here to launch this project. As you can see, the name is not there, lakini receipt ndaweka kwa karatasi. So I just want us to inspect the college so that I show you some of the nurses that are graduating from here, the good work that lecturers are doing here, and how the administration is actually building this institution to be one of the best in the country. Remember, worldwide we have a shortage of 32 million nurses, and that's why different nations around the world, especially developing nations, are trying to train more nurses to fit that deficit. There's a big deficit of nurses. In fact, we are supposed to train 150,000 nurses within the next 5 years. So we're already training the nurses here. In fact, we've graduated a few, and we have a few who are still in school. Principal, naitwa Morara. Si unifungulie.
Tumepanga, tumeweka, ahadi zimebaki hewani. Tutahakikisha, tutateremsha, lakini ni maneno matupu. Tumezindua, tutawezeka, ahadi kwa mama mboga, watu wa boda boda, mmesubiri, lakini hakuna kilichotekelezwa. Tumepanga, tumeweka, mipango imebaki kwa karatasi. Tutahakikisha, tutateremsha, lakini tumeshuhudia ahadi hewa. Tumezindua, tutawezeka, ndoto za mama mboga zimepotea. Watu wa boda boda, najua kweli.
Feasibility study. feasibility study. And I mentioned to you, when I spoke with one of the contractors, they told me that government will be rushing to release millions for feasibility study, even if they know that that loan that is supposed to be used to make that road is not yet ready. They will not wait for that loan. They will rush to cabinet, pass a resolution, because the president had gone there probably during campaigns and promised something, say a road or a hospital or a KMTC will be constructed on this and this. Then it will be done. Now, you know, I tend to believe that we are not honest in that angle. So I want us to look at this and interrogate. I want you to look at what Kenya Kwanza now have recently now changed and what they are saying about that. But before we get into that, I'm still reminding you about Kilifi mission. Guys, we are finishing. A deficit of around 56,000. We'll be able to bring this mission to completion. I've really been here for the last 5 days from last week on Thursday. Yeah, yes, I arrived here on Thursday, but I didn't feel well, so that's why I took a break on Friday. So I started working on Saturday. And I want to say thank you very much for those who are really pushing through this place. Kilifi, we are in a place called as Magarini Gongoni. Yeah, so we believe that when you support with what you can get, it will be able to pull this through. Now, let me tell you something about this. Kimani Kuria is saying that the stalled projects should be blamed on former President Uhuru Kenyatta during his last term in office. And I'm not boarding that narrative. He was talking about the debt. When he was addressing the issue of the debt, today in the parliamentary committee, he was talking about President Ruto should not be entirely blamed on some of these stalled projects. While I want to tell you why that scapegoat is not working. In fact, I've said, and Kenyans are a bit more informed. Kenyans are getting more informed and more enlightened. It is not potentially liable. It is not potentially viable for the Kenya Kwanza to feel and to think that in 2027, you will still be dragging Uhuru's name in when things don't work. I just don't know. Kenyans are getting more informed, more empowered, and they're now raising questions. It is not, you rather get another narrative, and I am not buying that statement of Uhuru, because I want to show you here, William Ruto cannot run away from these messes. Why is it that all these projects end and launch, But then you should ask yourself, why is it that most of these projects that are being brought in the limelight, apart from that of Makueni, Ruto launched. Why is it him? Why is it not one that has been launched by a minister? Then it's not working. A president going to launch, then that project stalled. It's not something that should be taken lightly. In fact, I've seen people making fun of this situation. This is not even funny, by the way. This is not funny. In fact, people running memes are making jokes of very serious matter. It is very serious. I've seen people running memes, dancing, launching, running skits. Yes, they are communicating something, but I think we are belittling something very crucial that really needs our attention. I remember when the president was doing the hospitals, this was during his second term under Nairobi Metropolitan, that metropolitan docket that was being run by Badi. Uhuru Kenyatta used to go and launch at night. And by the way, if you're keen, you'll realize Uhuru Kenyatta never went to launch a hospital before it's complete. Most of those hospitals, the way he was going to launch them, there were those he even went at night. He was just making impromptu visit at night in Kangemi, in Kibera, in these slums, and establishing those hospitals. Those level 3, level 4 hospitals, if I'm not wrong. And he used to go to commission complete projects. You will, if you are keen, many projects that Uhuru commissioned were complete projects. Most of them were complete projects. Many times, not so many clips will you find of Uhuru Kenyatta launching projects that are starting. Now that was left to William Ruto. And most projects that he started, that William Ruto was launching around, they didn't work. I remember when the president Uhuru Kenyatta went to Kajiado and said that Uhuru naibu wangu atakuja hapa ende anatangatanga, mtamwambia. Now that time Uhuru felt William Ruto was just using this launching to campaign, but in real sense what was being launched were not even within the budget lines, and people are complaining. People are saying these things we are launching, we are just launching, but where are they? Another question that I may also want you to that has also crossed our mind is this: when Uhuru Kenyatta was the president and the deputy were launching projects. They were going to launch roads, will launch hospital, will launch KMTC, and this and that. And so he would hijack some projects that are supposed even to be launched by the ministers and then go and launch. Uhuru Kenyatta was not so much obsessed with moving in regions. Uhuru Kenyatta never went, I'm going for Nyanza tour, so I'm going to be in Nyanza for the whole week. I want to launch that, I want to launch that, I want to launch that. No. That is not how Uhuru did it. In fact, I have always felt that this trend of president saying, I'm going to be in Kisii for 3 days, I'm going to meet Kisii people, lit some bonfire, then address Kisii issues. In fact, those things, that style of leadership, you seem to really, I understand that regions have identical problems, but going to say, I'm going to Nyanza, so I'm going to speak to Luos, I'm going to address roads, this and that. To me, it's just some it borders some profiling. I may be wrong, by the way. I may not be fully right on this, but it looks like someone profiling a community. You have a unique problem, I'm coming for you. Then the next day you are in, you're in Mombasa. Uhuru Kenyatta just used to do that when he was campaigning, and never went in Nyanza for 5 days. I'm doing Nyanza tour. You're doing Nyanza tour. Uhuru Kenyatta will wake up today, he's giving title deeds in Mombasa. The next day, he is in Laikipia. The following day, he is in Western. That is how we used to do it, randomly, and would bring that. But now, we are creating a situation where people start asking the president, you've never visited our village. You've never visited our community. I think, for me, I may be wrong, but I've always not bought that angle. These projects, these fake projects, I think the president cannot run away from this reality because of these reasons. Number one, the backbone of government is treasury. Do you know, and this one is what we were told by Jim Wanjigi. Jim Wanjigi said that in 2013, serikali pogawiwa, Uhuru Kenyatta took the gun. The defense, Minister of Interior and the defense, and William Ruto chose money. And so William Ruto picked finance. And that is why Rotich was in charge of finance. So Rotich was picked by William Ruto. So if it is treasury that was releasing money and coordinating some of these projects, I don't think it's true for president to always run away and say, it was Uhuru Kenyatta. I don't think, because he was at the center of it. Some people have been saying, Nyanza will not complain about incomplete projects while the treasury belongs to Mbadi. People said, that's how people think. So people start asking Mbadi questions. When unatoa pesa, mbona hii haijafanyika, mbona ile haijafanyika? So I've always felt, I think the president cannot run away from this, because in that government with William Ruto, with Uhuru Kenyatta, treasury belonged to him. So most of these launchings, if they had money and the things to be completed, he would have made his way very well with it. Number two, incompleted projects, the trend of incomplete projects is not only experienced in those projects launched before the general election. For example, the road in Bondo, that was launched last year in October. So if yes, you want to tell us Uhuru borrowed and so Uhuru messed up with those projects. And they kept on singing Uhuru messed up with those projects, Uhuru stalled projects, yes. So William Ruto said, I will revive those projects. But that reviving has always been going there to erect those things, then go back. So even during this regime, we've seen incomplete projects. So it's not true to just bash it on Uhuru Kenyatta. And the other thing, I think, he bragged that he was the engine behind Kenyatta government. The president was on record saying that he was the engine behind Kenyatta government. So it's not good and it's not cool now to run away and say, no, it was Uhuru Kenyatta who did it. So ladies and gentlemen, that is my take. I believe that Kenyans really they need to put, everyone has to be vigilant, because that is the only way they will put the leadership to task. That is my take, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, and kindly let's support Kilifi Mission.